Hello, how are you? I hope you're well and that you've been having a lovely week. Which the weeks seem to be whizzing by. I don't know when it was, how long ago it was I said, I'll see you next week. I always do that. And then a little Willow pup happened and I don't know where time's gone. It's summer now. Well, it's not, it's spring, but it feels like summer. And it's so lovely to be able to go out in the garden and have breakfast out there and cups of tea and puppies going crazy. So I think the last time I did a podcast, I had some exciting news. And after losing our Monty, Archie and Tommy, our two dogs and our rescue cats, so close, we were just, at the beginning of the year, we didn't know what had hit us. We were just lost. Still are a bit, still are. No, not a bit, we are, definitely. But there just suddenly came this time when we thought it was time. And so we've got little Willow. She's actually Willow Boo, because her mum's name is Boo. I was hoping to have a walk with her mum soon. And she is now 16 weeks. She's a yellow lab. And she is by far the naughtiest pup we've ever had. I was talking to my friend Sharon the other day about this because Sharon has dogs and totally understands it all. She's 75%, I think. I think I said 80% angel, 20% absolute devil. I'm up in that to 75 and 25 devil. She is into everything, very bitey. Labrador pups are bitey. But she's just delicious. She's what we needed, and it hasn't made, I think people think, oh well, they're fine now, they've got this new puppy. That's not how it works. I still cry my eyes out every morning. Oh, sorry. But that's fine. But it also means, but you've still got the room for your new little pup. So hopefully, while I've been nattering on, there's been some footage of her on here. I can't get her up here to show you because she'd squirm all over the place and she'd be a mischief. But she's lovely. We can take her out on walks now. She had all of her jabs. And can't wait to have adventures with her. She's going to be lovely. She's, despite being very naughty, she's got the most beautiful, gentle nature. And yeah, she's going to be lovely. But puppies and knitting needles and sewing don't go together. And you can't sit there without her, you know, she'll launch herself at you. So things like knitting and sewing has to be done when she's sleeping or when she's definitely in another room. And in the garden the other day, we've got a table, I'm looking at it now, which is, you know, a normal waist-height table. And we've also got some decking, which therefore made the gap between the tabletop and the decking less. She leapt straight onto the table. We couldn't believe it. I mean, she didn't know what to do when she'd got up there. She was like, what do I do now? So yeah, nothing is sacred. But anyway, I'll show you what I've been doing. Also, we'll already be up by now, but there's a little video on Untrodden Ways about kind of what I've been getting up to and just life and gentle living, really. That's on our Untrodden Ways YouTube channel. But I will show you some things I've been doing. The first thing I've done is I have finally, very late to the party, I've been seeing this on Instagram for months and months and months and months. I have just bought the petite knit Sophie scarf pattern, and I'm going to do it in, which I'm going to show you later, I'm going to do it in Mascari, which is one of our colourways, because I think I wear a lot of blue and grey and white and neutral colours, and I think that will go well. But I think it's nice to have something, it's only very small, the one that I'm going to do, and it's just like a little neck scarf. I'm sure you know, I'm sure you've seen it, but that's my knitting plan. But mainly I've been stitching. So I'm going to show you what I've been up to. So the first thing is some stitching that I found, actually. Well, I mean, I knew it was there, but I've always got things in all bags, and I've got so many project bags, and you know, you open, I'm sure you're the same, you open it, you go, oh, I didn't know that was in there. I found this. So I started this last year. This is cow parsley, which is my absolute favourite. Oh, I just stuck a needle in my finger. I'm trying to stop myself leaving needles in things, and I've made myself a little, I showed it in the last podcast, a little needle case which I keep all my needles in. Not that one apparently. Anyway, it's cow parsley time, and I could not be happier. Cow parsley's in hedgerows. Talking of hedgerows, I'll talk to you about it later, but our new nature journal box is hedgerows. And there's going to be a little embroidery in there, but this is a cow parsley one that I did last year. And the idea was that I wanted to surround it with sort of colour and flowers, and I'd say that's nearly finished. I've still got a few bits and pieces that I want to do to it, just a little bit up here. And I did think this was going to be part of a journal, but I got carried away doing other things with it last year. And I potentially may use it for a book cover, a bigger book cover, like I've done on this one. Or I'd like to have it actually as part of a cushion. It's quite delicate. It's not willow proof, so it would have to not be, probably more for the bedroom. If you're one of our lovely patrons, we put up a couple of days ago a little stitching video where I was nattering on about this. So you've probably heard me say this, but I think that might be a better suited for the bedroom. But that just brings me so much joy doing that, and being able to just pick that up. And it's like knitting, but knitting oftentimes, I mean, sometimes it's just a knit purl, but oftentimes you've got pattern. There's no pattern with slow stitching, it suits me very well. And huge scraps. These are my bags that I've picked up. And this, which is my other bit of slow stitching, which I'll show you in a minute. This is what comes around the house with me. When I pick it up, I just pick this whole lot up, as well as the bag. I'm going to fix now. So that's my first one, which, yes, I think that's going to be a cushion. I'm just trying to think of what order to show this in to you. While I'm talking to you about stitching, there is a little, I don't know if I told you this in my last podcast or not, or whether it went up afterwards, probably went up afterwards, but I did a little stitch of how I stitch my wren, which you can buy as a PDF if you just want to trace it off, or as a kit with the pattern on the fabric. Also, the blossoms one, this came in our first nature journal box, and if you had our blossoms one, then I'll show you that in a second. It's under all those bits of fabric I could get out in a second, but the blossoms PDF will also be on, if you're one of our patrons, it will be on for you to download on there, but it will also be hopefully available to buy in the shop shortly when we get round to it, because it's with Willow, I mean, you forget how much work they are. Like having a baby again. But also we've been really busy with getting our nature journal blossoms boxes and our Anna Green Gables little bookshelf yarn club all have gone out over the last couple of weeks, and there were so many of them, and they all had box pouches, and it's been manic, but they're arriving now, and I know you love them, which makes us happy. Speaking of which as well, the new one, which our latest little bookshelf yarn club, which is Secret Garden, another magical book, is in the shop now. Speaking of gardens, I've also just downloaded, this has been, I think the app has been around for 4 years, so it's not new, but I've only just discovered it. Oh, just found a little Suffolk puff, nearly lost that. As you do. A little app called Merlin. So, you know, when you're walking along or you're in your garden and you hear the bird song, I'm quite good on my bird song, but you think, I don't know what that is. And this app is brilliant. Yes, it's called Merlin, and it's by area, so I think it's America, or you can have Europe. I've downloaded the Europe one because we're off to Italy soon, but also the UK one, and it's brilliant. As you're walking along, it will put up maybe 3 or 4 birds that it's hearing, but it highlights the bird that is singing at that moment, so it's really clear for you to think, oh, that's the missel thrush. Or so it's brilliant. Highly, if you love your birds and you're not too sure about birdsong, I love that. Really enjoyed that. I did have a little patchwork to show you, but I can't find it. I've also just rearranged our little studio where we work, and I'm hoping today to have a new thread organiser arriving. I've got boxes everywhere at the moment. I'm still trying to figure it all out. The other thing I've been doing, bear with, it's not going to be too long because I only have 31 minutes on my battery, was my nature journal. So I've been doing a nature journal sort of stitch along. So sort of January, February, March, April. Oh, this is the blossom one I was talking about. This is the blossom embroidery. And that was my little pied wagtail. And there's some bluebells up there. But that's all I managed because of Willow. I've got lots of plans. Loads of bits of fabric and bits and pieces that I've done, and stuff at puffs ready to go on. But at the moment, that's as far as I've got. But again, absolutely loving doing this. And I need to do some catching up. But to be honest, I've been working on, I got a bit carried away with this one, the first one I showed you, but now that's nearly finished. I'm going to focus on this one. I was reading the other day about mental health and how good being out in nature is for your mental health, and the actual science behind it, which is fascinating. But I think just being more connected to what's happening around you by way of writing things down, or finding out what the bird song is you can hear, or stitching a bit of cow parsley, or I've been doing a lot of just pressing flowers. That's something else we're hoping to have in the shop soon. My husband made some little pink houses for the blossom box, which you all really loved, which I'm really pleased about. There will be some of those coming in the shop soon, but he's also going to be making some flower presses. If you had I think it was our mindfulness journal last year, he did a little flower press in there. Getting distracted now, but yeah, I've been doing lots of pressing flowers, and I cannot remember the name. I can't remember the name of the lady whose account it was, where she actually put it between white tissue paper, which you put, I think it's just like a watered down PVA glue, or you could put Mod Podge on it, I think, and then you put your pressed flowers on, and then you can put your tissue back on top. And she used it she then stitched that onto linen for a book cover, which I thought was genius. So I've been doing, yes, pressing flowers, and you don't know what all the flowers are, and it's really easy to come home and just think, oh, what's that? So, and the new Nature Journal box, Hedgerows, with my beloved cow parsley, there will definitely be some of that in there. Not the actual cow parsley, but the focus. That is in the shop now. Now, the other thing I want to say, bangles. So these little bangles, this is something new that we've been excited about for a while now, and it's been planned. And like I said, the Willow slightly extended when this had actually been released, but Christopher made these. They're little silver bangles, and there are lots of different, he's got lots of different designs and ideas that he's coming up with as we go along. They're hammered silver, and they're beautiful, and they're going to be in the shop as soon as we can get them in the shop. It could be this week, probably next week. If you're signed up to our newsletter, I'm really sorry if you signed up to our newsletter and you haven't heard much from me. I just haven't had the time, but we'll try and put it in the newsletter when they go in the shop as well. But his jewellery is something that is very much inspired by the intricacies of nature, really. So we've got all sorts of things planned with earrings and rings and different types of bangles as well. But if you like something handmade and you like silver, they're going to be in the shop soon. I'm very proud of him. I think they're lovely. And it's just so nice to have something that is made by hand. So that's that. I'm probably forgetting to say lots of things, but I'm going to show you now, because my battery is probably going to run out soon, what is in the shop at the moment. So we have started something called the Floral Edit, which is all things floral, really. You know when you get a beautiful hand-tied bouquet and you'll have the main flower, it might be a rose, and then you have all the other beautiful little sprigs that make up your bouquet. And that's what we've been doing. So our first one, which I actually haven't got with me, which you loved, it sold out really quickly, and then we put it on pre-order, and now we've got a few extra ones that we've dyed up. That's in the shop. I'll put some footage in here because I haven't got it with me. But basically you get, for the bouquet, you get one main skein, your main stem, and then you get 5 minis, and each one is a different flower. We also sell posies, which is the main skein, and 3 minis. So this one is peony and sweet peas, and this one is cottage garden. Oh, so you've got agapanthus and sweet williams and delphiniums, all gorgeous foxgloves, and it's all listed on the website what makes this one up. And the Rosa Joie de Vivre, there was, again, all the different flowers that go into that are listed on there. So the peony, cottage garden and Rosa Joie de Vivre are in the shop now as full bouquets. And then this is Solomon's Seal. These are on, this is so soft, this is our MCN base, merino cashmere nylon. And this is Solomon's Seal, which is a very delicate stem with all little flowers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It's so beautiful. And this is Snake's Head Fritillary, which, again, another beautiful little plant. And this one is Muscari. This is what I'm going to do my little Sophie scarf in. And these are all on MCN. They all go beautifully together, I think, as well. And then this, which is a different green, as you can see, that's more of a fresh apple green. And this is Gypsophilia, which quite a few people bought. I think 3 people messaged me to say they were going to make, this was on MCN and stock. I think the MCN has completely sold out, but I think it's still available on stock. We will be doing some more MCN, it's just having the time to get around to doing them. But, sorry, people, I think 3 people said they were going to be actually knitting or crocheting shawls for weddings. I just think that's so lovely. So we feel like we're going to be part of being at that wedding. So that's so lovely, because Gypsophilia is such a traditional thing to have in a bouquet, isn't it? Because it's just so beautiful and romantic. Little lavender bags that go out with your orders. And I've also been making quite a few little box pouches. So these, as I've said before, they're lovely for your minis. They're good for a little sock project, embroidery bits and pieces, on your bedside, on your desk, for all the clutter that's on your desk. They're little box pouches. This is beautiful pure linen, and this particular one, this is a cotton lawn lining. This one is a mix of linens, and that is Egyptian cotton lining. And there's quite a few, and there's another one here. That's got lovely floral cotton, different fronts and backs, little sort of details on them. So they're the box pouches. There's quite a few of those on the website, and lots of little bags. So I made 3 types of bag last week, which I can't show you because they did sell out, which I was so thrilled with that you loved them. They are on pre-order. I do need a couple of weeks to get them made because we've got so much going on at the moment. But if you would like one of the bags on the website, I'll try and put some pictures in, some listing pictures in here so you can see what I'm talking about. But they are on pre-order. They're all part of our floral edit. And this again uses beautiful Merchant Mills linen and some more lovely floral cotton. And this is a sari silk drawstring. And there's lots of different ones. That's some more beautiful linens. I do love linen. I love it for my bags. I wear most of the clothes in my wardrobe are linen mix. I love it in the house. And this other little one, look at that. Took all my willpower to not keep this one. And that has got this cotton lawn lining and it's pure white linen. So that's, oh, and I've also got quite a few little needle cases in the shop for you to keep your needles in, just simple little ones. That's got some embroidery on and felt, just a couple of bits of felt for your needles, all different designs. They're in the shop, and also some little pin cushions. When we tidy the yarns, we spend quite a lot of time making sure they look lovely when they go out and tidying them up, and we have tiny little offcuts that we snip off, literally little tiny bits. And I can't throw anything away, so I've got big bags of them, and I've made a few little pin cushions, so pieced together some of my favourite fabrics and filled it with that. They're in the shop. Oh, I'm getting really hot. I'm probably all red and hot and bothered now. That's most of what, oh sorry if I shouted at you then, that's most of what's in the shop. Oh, and also some, if you like vintage linens. Oh, they smell lovely as well. I've washed all of these. That's the other thing I love about summer. You wash something and I love it flapping on the line. Washed and dried all these this week, but I'm hoping to get some more slow stitch bundles together. Some of the, I think it was the Blossoms box that we sent out. We had quite a few slow stitch bundles with them, but sold out. That I know you wanted, but I only had a limited amount of the fabric that was going to go into those boxes, but I'm hoping to put some more together for you. Phew. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to say are the Christmas products, which again, sorry to talk about Christmas so early. Our Advent has sold out, so the only Advent where you're opening a mini every day, that has sold out, and we're working on those, and it's most peculiar in May, dyeing up Advent things, but that's what we've been doing. We've been working quite hard on that because we just want to get that done and ready for you so that it can go out and be with you in plenty of time. We have also got a Christmas Eve box, which is Berries and Birdsong, and that has got in it. So that will come in a little box, and that has for you to open on Christmas Eve, for your Christmas Eve cast on. That's got 100 gram skein, 5 20-gram minis, a little drawstring pouch. It will have a soy tea light in there, A6 print, a little lavender bag progress keeper. They're in the shop now, and that's called Berries and Birdsong. There is a little, I think it's still there, tab at the top of the shop, which is Christmas, and we're trying to put everything in there. We also have, so I don't need to get confused with this. So we're also doing a floral Advent, but it's not, so a Dickensian Yuletide was where you had a 20-gram mini every day. This is different. This is, you're going to open, should you choose to buy one, whether you choose to have a bouquet or a posy, you will open, a bouquet will be a 100-gram skein and 5 minis, sort of like every Sunday of Advent really. So we're suggesting that you open them on the Sundays, which I can't remember the dates now, but I think the last one might be the 20, I don't know. It's Sundays through December, and you will open a floral bouquet or a posy, which is a 100-gram skein and 3 minis, and they'll be packaged for you like these, she said. they'll be packaged for you as if you're opening a little floral bouquet. And you can choose to have 4 of those, and the prices for those are, so it's 150 for the 4 poses, and 100 for the 4 poses, and 185 for the 4 bouquets. And you can also choose to have treats with it, which would be drawstring bag. There's going to be an embroidery pattern, a DPN cozy. That's a DPN cozy that you literally just put your double pointed needles in, snap shut. Won't be this pattern. Soy tea light, soap, box pouch, and an A6 print. So you get a lot in there. And we will also, if you're going for treats, we'll spread those treats along each week. So suggest you open one on week 1, week 2, week 3. So I think that's everything I was going to say. This is what I'm just about to start reading. Nikki, look what I'm reading. This may or may not be a future book for Little Bookshelf Yarn Club, The Focus. I can't wait to read this. I'd love to know as ever what you're reading and what you're watching. Oh, new Sewing Bee starts. I don't know if it's tonight or last night, but the Sewing Bee started. Great British Sewing Bee. Yeah, what are you up to? I'd love to know. Love to read your messages. Thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. And don't forget the Untrodden Ways video if you'd like to just see a bit of what we've been up to. Thank you very much.